doesn't make sense for the Americans to weaken the dollar further. So I expect that the dollar will stabilize on these levels, and it will be sideways over the next couple of weeks or couple of months.
Well, Thomas, thank you very much for joining Stucki TV today. It's an absolute pleasure to speak with you. How are you to start with?
Fine, thanks.
Wonderful. Today we're going to have a kind of general look across some of the markets. I thought what better place to start than with the dollar, especially with the dollar weakness as of late. How long do you expect this to continue, and what do you expect to see next?
I expect the dollar to stabilize on the actual level. The fall versus Swiss franc from 99 to 93 was quite strong in a very short time. And it doesn't make sense for the Americans to weaken the dollar further. So I expect that the dollar will stabilize on these levels, and it will be sideways over the next couple of weeks or couple of months. And
let's quickly jump over to Europe. A lot's been happening with regards to the ECB, especially with things like the crisis in Latvia. How has the euro reacted to this? And again, what do you expect to see from the euro in the coming months?
The euro didn't react to the crisis in Latvia. The same, it didn't react to the crisis in Catalonia last year either. So for the euro, it's the ECB that is the center of the topic. People expect the ECB to reduce or finish the buying program of bonds, and then perhaps next year rising interest rates, as long as it's not clear what the ECB tends to do and when to stop its program. It's that the market is thinking about it, and they say, okay, there is more room for the euro to go up. You see that in the futures markets. You see the positions in the euro dollar futures on the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. You see a very strong overhang of long euro contracts. That works as long as the ECB doesn't finish its program. Once it's finished, all these guys on the futures markets will leave the euro again, and then the euro will get weaker. So for the euro, it can get stronger over the next couple of weeks and the next couple of months. But then towards the end of the year, when the ECB has finished its program, I expect the euro to come down quite a bit.
Well, you're in Zurich, I'm in Geneva. It would be very rude to ignore the Swiss franc. What do you make of the what do you make of the current situation for the Swiss franc, and what do you expect to see moving forward? Are there any key events that you expect to have a big effect?
Yeah, I think it's not around the Swiss franc. It's really what happens with the euro. Once the euro gets weaker versus the dollar, as I said, I expect it to be the case towards the end of this year, when it's clear what the ECB will do, when it will do, and then the euro will also get weaker versus the Swiss franc. So I expect the Swiss francs towards the euro at 110 at the end of the year. And I know that a lot of people expect it at 125. I don't see any reason why the euro should rise as much versus the Swiss franc, or why the Swiss franc should weaken as much versus the euro. I see it at 110.
Well, Thomas, I can't let you go without asking you a little bit about the kind of buzzword. It's died down a little bit in the last few months, but the thing that everyone seems to be talking about, and that's the crypto markets and Bitcoin in particular. What's your take on the Bitcoin, and what are you expecting to see maybe in a bit of a longer term?
And you mentioned there was a big hype in November. It now disappeared a little bit. It came down 50%. I do not expect the Bitcoin to last for more than 2 or 3 further years. There probably will be other cryptocurrencies. At the end, behind the Bitcoin is nothing. So I would say the hype over the Bitcoin will disappear, but there will other cryptocurrency will replace the Bitcoin.
Thomas, thank you so much for speaking with us today. It's a real pleasure to talk with you, and hopefully we can speak again soon.
You're welcome. Thanks.
And thank you for watching. If you like this interview and would like to find out more, be sure to head over to Stucki.tv.